you have ever genuinely wanted to share your story, like the real one, and you stopped yourself because a voice went, oh, wow, that's going to be trauma dumping, then this video is for you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you who actually invented the trauma dumping rule, who it really protects, and why the woman who needs you most is on the other side of the screen right now, unable to find you. So I will start with the real story that happened with me a couple of days ago. I was at the Business Mastermind event here in Austin. So picture this. We have a circle of women, entrepreneurs, and all of us successful by most measures, all of us sharing what we are actually struggling with right now in business and what we need to focus on and how to focus, what's the next step is. And it gets to this one woman and she says it so quietly, almost she wanted to apologize for it. So she goes, my challenge is that I want to be more vulnerable online and I want to share my story, but I don't want to trauma dump. And around the circle, women started nodding yeah, we don't want to trauma dump. Yes, totally. And I'm not the woman who sits in the circle and nods along just to keep the peace. So here's my hand. And I said, I genuinely disagree with everything that was just said. I disagree that sharing your story is trauma dumping. And here's what pisses me off the most. When it was decided that telling your story, actually the way it happened, raw, in the middle of it, not the polished version of you when you oh, I'm survived, I'm healed, and I'm smiling right now, and all good, right? When did that become a disorder? We name and shame. The anger I felt obviously wasn't at her. It was at social media. It was at all of those gurus who read a couple of psychology books and they decided that, hey, this week that we're gonna call this trauma dumping. And it spreads like a fire, like a cancer across the internet. And it stopped real women from connecting to their audience, to their future clients, to the people they are here to serve, because they got scared of telling the one thing that actually builds that connection. Because the woman who needs you is sitting exactly where you were a year ago, and she is scared and she is still in it. And she cannot connect to the version of you who is sitting here now and saying, well, I'm good now. Life is good. Positive vibes only. Yeah, no. She connects to the version of you who was in that pain, where their transformation actually happened. This is the bridge she walks across to find you. And I'll be honest, yeah, I used to do exactly the same thing. I used to hide it because by any of the usual success story measures, my journey was a freaking mess. I made so many mistakes. I stayed in the marriage that I didn't want to be in. And then I spent 5 years with someone in love with a story I projected onto him instead of seeing him as he actually was. I lost all my money. I overcommitted. I burned myself out so completely that I ended up in a hospital, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Me, health freak, with doctors telling me, hey, you are lucky to be alive right now. And when something like that happens, it does something to your ego, especially when you're trying to build a coaching business like I am, right? So my first thought was, well, who the hell is going to want to work with me now? What client looks at a woman who made that many mistakes and says, yes, her. That's the one. Oh, I need that woman right now, right? No. But then I actually started telling the truth and I said it out loud. And I do not care about the people who think that success is just that yellow brick road of flowers and unicorns. And you just follow the path and everything works out every day and every day is so easy. No, that has never been my definition of success, or at least that was never been my story. And my definition of success is that you make the mistakes, you take them as your lessons and you grow. And then you share the path so that next woman doesn't walk it alone. But look at social media right now. It's all drawing in toxic positivity. My best life. everything so curated and everything so refined and fine. And what we're actually starving for is real stories. And the moment I started sharing mine, like as fucked up as it was, more people wanted to connect with me and more people wanted to work with me as a coach because they were standing in that exact place I had already walked out of. They could see I was in front of them, that I overcame it with the education and the study and the coaching certificates. Yes, all of that, but also with my lived experience. And that meant I could actually help them. So, girl, if you're in this place right now, whether you sell services, whether you're building your business, whether you're just a creator and you're trying to be seen online, I encourage you to share your story. I know it feels freaking terrifying. And that fear is not your weakness. It's actually just the biology. You know, we are social creatures. Your brain is literally wired to keep you inside the group because for most of human history, being cast out meant death. So the rejection feels real and the judgment also feels very real. And no matter how much rebel you've got in you, that's wiring is still loud. So don't post the whole thing tomorrow, right? Pick one part, one piece of your story that you can share right now. Because here's what I actually believe. Your story was never for you. Your gifts and everything you've collected the hard way through your life, those are for other people, to help them grow, to help them learn, to let them feel heard and seen in the exact moment they actually need it. And if someone calls it trauma dumping, let them unfollow you. Let them leave your page. Never freaking read another thing you make because they were never your people. I literally say, hey, unfollow. Don't watch my reels. Don't watch my stories. Don't read anything. Just unfollow. It's easy. And you should not spend 1 second of your precious energy on any of them. And if you want help doing this, if you need the push, the support, the accountability, that is exactly why I built the Confidence Rebellion Challenge for. It's only $37 and you buy it once and you have it for your life. So for 7 days, we build your confidence with daily prompts, with daily practices, with mantras. And you also choose one challenge that you've been postponing, procrastinating, or overthinking of your own. And you're gonna make one small step every day in this challenge. And my whole idea with it was to connect women so we can actually support each other and to build momentum inside you. So you start doing more and more and more brave things. And you give your brain that proof, like real evidence that you are more than enough and you are more than qualified to share your story, to build your business, to sell what you make, to serve people, and to live a happy and fulfilling life on your terms. We are growing, so right now it's small, but it's such an intimate circle, but it doesn't make it less powerful. The link in the description below. So girl, you just gave yourself permission to take control of the one thing the world tries hardest to control for you, your story. But that's one room, and the rest of your life is still waiting for you to stop reacting and take the wheel. And I made a whole video on exactly how to do that. How to take control of your life when it feels like everyone else is steering that wheel. And if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you doing that. That's where you can go next. I'll be right there. Mwah.